When you really think about it, life kind of swings between two very different states, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the chaos, the friction, the turbulence. And on the other, you've got peace, calm, and tranquility. So today, we're going to dive into how both of these states aren't just part of life, they're actually absolutely essential for our growth. To really get to the heart of this, let's kick things off with a fantastic word: tempestuous. Now, on the surface, yeah, it just means stormy. But the real juice is in what it means figuratively, that feeling of being full of strong, conflicting emotions. It's really the perfect word for when you feel like you're caught in your own personal storm. And that brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. Where does real, meaningful growth actually happen? Is it born from those quiet moments of reflection, or is it forged right there in the heart of the storm? Most of us probably have a gut feeling one way or the other, but, well, the truth is a little more interesting than that. Okay, so first up, let's make the case for the storm. I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, right? But those difficult, turbulent times, they are surprisingly valuable. They give us a special kind of friction that we just don't get when everything's smooth sailing. Just think for a second about what that turbulence actually gives us. When you're pushed to your absolute limits, all the unimportant stuff just kind of burns away. You're forced to face what you truly value, what's really important. You literally can't just be passive. The storm demands a reaction from you, and that very friction, well, that's the spark for growth. But, and this is a really big but, this isn't just some simple what doesn't kill you makes you stronger cliché. Turbulence is a two-sided coin. Everything, and I mean everything, depends on how we choose to react to it. It can be this incredible force that uplifts us, or, if we let ourselves get overcome by it, it can be incredibly destructive. The power really is in our response. Of course, we can't live in a constant storm. Nobody can. So, what about what happens after it passes? That period of calm. It's not just the absence of trouble. It has its own unique and, honestly, equally important power. And here's why. That tranquility isn't about doing nothing. It's not about being lazy. It's an active process. It's a time we need to really digest and marinate on all the lessons we just learned from the storm. This is where we put the pieces together and finally make sense of all that chaos. So you've got these two opposite forces, the storm and the calm. How in the world do they work together? Well, let's bring it all home with a really simple but powerful analogy that I think makes this entire concept just click into place. Just think about it like hitting the gym. In so many ways, life itself is a workout for our character, for our soul. And once you see it this way, it totally changes how you look at both struggle and rest. Here's how perfectly it lines up. Those turbulent times, that's the workout itself. That's when stress is applied and our metaphorical muscles are torn down. But here's the key. The real growth doesn't actually happen during the workout. It happens in the recovery, those peaceful times. That's when the muscles heal, regenerate, and build back even stronger than they were before. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? One without the other is totally incomplete. All workout and no rest, you're just going to get injured. All rest and no workout, you're not going to get any stronger. To build real strength, you absolutely need both the stress of the challenge and the quiet regeneration of peace. So where does that leave us? How do we find our own balance in this incredible cycle? Well, the key might just be in how we look for the silence. I just love this quote. It's such a beautiful reminder that peace isn't only something that comes after the storm is over. Even right in the middle of the most tempestuous, chaotic moments, there are gaps, there are pauses. There are these little moments of silence between the thunderclaps where we can find our center. It makes you realize that growth doesn't just happen in some perfectly manicured garden. No, sometimes, like a tiny plant breaking right through solid concrete, the most amazing growth emerges from the absolute harshest environments. That's the real power of this cycle. Stress, followed by recovery, creates a resilience you can't get any other way. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When you look at your own life right now, where is your next opportunity for growth? Is it in seeking out a healthy challenge, a good workout? Or maybe
Is it in giving yourself that crucial time for recovery and reflection? Where are you in this cycle?